Housewife historian, and we are here to talk the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to be talking a little bit in code today because if you watch my channel and you watch my live, yes.
Is the plane going down? Are we gonna die? Why are you saying I'm salty?
Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife Historian, and we are talking what the hell is going on with my hair today. Good God. I hope I don't go out like this in public sometimes. I've heard time getting it like the same amount on each side if you can't tell. Anyway, guys, let's talk Real Housewives of New Jersey. We got a new episode last night, and we got to talk about it. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, we have the fact that the ladies are in Ireland 2 weeks before Teresa Giudice's wedding. Is this a red flag to anyone else? Is this a red flag to people who are in the producer world? Why would they take a cast trip so close to filming wrapping? Shouldn't they already have the materials that they need? Hold on 1 second, guys. I have to get something. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife Historian, and we are here to talk the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to be talking a little bit in code today because if you watch my channel and you watch my live, yes.
Is the plane going down? Are we gonna die? Why are you saying I'm salty?
Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife Historian, and today we are talking Real Housewives of New Jersey. We're sort of going to be reviewing last night's episode. If you're new to this channel, then you will find out I do not go in order consecutively. I just pinpoint certain things that stand out to me and we discuss them. However, this is a not a trigger warning, but just a warning that we're going to be talking about last night's episode. So if you didn't have a chance to watch it yet, then you may not want this video, might not be for you. Before we do all of that though, guys, if you could do me a favor, just hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on. It makes such a difference with my videos. It really helps to like get them out and about. So if you could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. And then we are going to jump right in. Now today, guys, we have one more episode left. I find this so crazy. I went and actually looked up the schedule of the Real Housewives season 13 of New Jersey. And what I found was we're only getting 11 episodes for the entire season. That's a little bit of a red flag to me. That says something to me. Next week is going to be the last episode. They're going to wrap the Ireland trip up and give us the finale with the huge fight between the Gorgas allegedly and Louis and Teresa in one episode. This is really astonishing to me. It has my mind like going in a million different directions. One, why did they take the cast trip 2 weeks before Teresa's wedding? 2 weeks before wrapping filming. I thought typically the cast trip was to create bonds, to create content. It gives the women opportunity. They click up, they fight, they're stuck together in certain situations, high stress situations. Just a lot of contributing factors. They're outside of their environment. You get a little bit more content that way because you're not just getting the standard day-to-day housewife transactions, if you will. So that's weird to me. Why are we taking our cast trip 2 weeks before filming wraps? Secondly, yes, I know traditionally that New Jersey is not a franchise that we get a lot of episodes, but usually we get like 12 to 14. So 11 feels like we're getting shorted, especially considering how much hype we heard about this season. So far, we haven't seen nothing from Margaret. Nothing. Nothing, guys. I'm not being mean, but we've literally seen her and Joe grooming each other. That's it. She's like trimming his nose hairs and his ears hairs, and that's fine. But that's, and then we got him bathing her because she broke her arm. I mean, they're like, need a homemade nurse coming in there or something. I don't know, but that's all we're seeing coming from that residence, except for you guys know that there is something that was filed through the court. And I posted the document just for like an hour on Twitter, and I accidentally forgot to block out the freaking address. And I felt like such an asshole, and I apologized for that. But I mean, everyone knows where Margaret lives. I'm just saying. And I have a photo for you guys I want to show you too. Oh man, I hope that I think I did. Yeah, I screenshotted it. Anyways, guys, not good for her, not good for her at all. We have an accountant who is allegedly owed $15,000 from 3 years of non-payment from her clients, MJ and her husband, JB. The accountant says she hadn't been paid in like 3 years. And if your accountant says you're broke, you're broke, honey. You're broke. If your accountant says you're broke, which is really why I think it's strange the accountant continued to work for 3 years. But maybe who knows what she was being fed, whatever. It's a very short civil doc case filed, like I said, for $15,000. The accountant is accusing MJ and JB of not paying her for 3 years. She was filing their traditional yearly taxes, yada, yada, yada. And she's owed $15,000. And she literally, well, I shouldn't say it's a she. I think the accountant is a she. I can't say for certain, though. I shouldn't say that. I apologize. But whomever filed the lawsuit quoted in like where the description of like what has transpired, which basically was 5 sentences. It was short and sweet to the point. It was like, hey, they owe me this amount of money for doing accounting work for the last 3 years. They haven't paid me in 3 years because they have no money. And she put it in quotation marks. Now, a lot of people don't want to post this stuff, okay? Because this is how things kind of can get buried, guys, because nobody wants to touch it because they don't want to deal with the harassment that they could possibly get coming from that housewife and her team. And so I don't want it either. That's why I posted it for like a half hour and took it back down. So if you guys are interested in it and you want to read a little bit more about it, then you can definitely go to the Bergen County Clerk of Court site, and you can look up all sorts of things there. So that would be where I would personally start if I was looking to read more into any lawsuit that could be being filed in New Jersey. Not good, guys. Not good at all. That's not good. I can't even say, I mean, I'm just like shaking my head in like disbelief because I don't know, like, I don't understand how you, like, if you don't have it, like, if someone provides a service and then wham, bam, you don't have any money, like something happened or whatever, like, okay. But when you allow someone to continue to work for you and you allude to them that you are going to compensate them for their work, you're dead ass wrong for that. I had a job like that once. People were like, why would you work for free? People were, whenever the nanny said that there was, not the nanny, I'm sorry, a house cleaner that said she was owed $2,000 from a New Jersey family who were not paying her. And people were like, why wouldn't she just stop when she didn't get paid? Let me tell you guys how this works. Do you get your paycheck and think that it's going to bounce? No, you don't. So what happens? You get your paycheck on Friday, you take it to the bank, you deposit it, you pay all of your bills, right? The bank sends that out. It comes back non-sufficient funds. They send it back again. They always do it twice. Comes back insufficient funds. Now your account goes into the negative. Everything that you had automatically set up to come out of that account between, let's say, 5 business days has now bounced. Your account is in the negative, and you have all these NSF fees, and you're calling your work like, oh my gosh, what the hell is going on? So they're like, don't worry about it. here's a check to cover that for the fees, and here's another check for your payroll, right? So you deposit that. Now your account's on the positive. You think you're good. Your work covered the NSF fees, and you got your standard paycheck anyways, right? The bank gets it, they send it out, it comes back non-sufficient funds. They send the other check back out, it comes back non-sufficient funds. Then they have to send it out again because they do it twice. They tried to collect on the transaction twice, and then it comes back negative. So now your account is in the negative with 3 NSF checks from your job and additional fees, additional transactions that have bounced. And now you were like panicking because if you, like, I saw this happen to somebody once, and she was like a younger girl and she was in nursing school. And so she continued to work those 2 weeks that they alluded that they were going to make right with her this money, right? So what happens is for the 2 weeks that she continued to work, because she just didn't know what was going on. Like maybe something happened, maybe there was a banking error, right? So that means boom, one whole paycheck of salary gone, right? And then you have the fees that you accumulated, the money they gave you for that, which bounced. So now you're out fees to the bank. Let's just say $300 in fees. And then you still continue to work another 2 more weeks, and that paycheck has now bounced. So now you have a whole month of salary plus NSF fees that your employer owes you. And that's just from the start of, your first paycheck going bad. They basically can keep it going if they want to, like that they're making it up, because sometimes they're going to open up under another doing business as, or they're going to just file bankruptcy. And so they're just writing bad checks and they're going to close up the account. So they don't even care. And they just, want to keep you there as long as they can. I seriously have seen this shit happen. And you have to be a grimy mother heifer to do some shit like that. I'm just saying. You do. Because you know that you don't have any money. You know you're screwing their checking account up by doing that. Can you imagine putting your paycheck bouncing and everything that you have, but not knowing it? You're out here swipe. Let me tell you, one time I had 2 checking accounts. I had 2 debit cards. This was when debit cards were like still relatively new. And one weekend I wasn't like carrying cash. I was like always swipe, like Dairy Mart for my Polar Pup, whatever. I was like 20 some years old. And I had like 13 transactions bounce over the weekend because I used the wrong debit card, and it was transactions for like Polar Pop or chips or $2 at Taco Bell, whatever. And I worked at the bank, JP Morgan Chase. And my office, our manager still would not write off those NSF fees for me. I had to pay them. It was like $35 on all 13 of them. And she would not take care of the fees. And I worked there. And the money was in my other checking account. That was the thing. It was like in the other checking account, just wasn't transferred over. Yeah. So that is how people scam their employees. And before you know it, they owe you a month's salary. We know other people. This is like a little bit frightening and a little bit disheartening because we're kind of seeing the same thing happen like with the same people, right? So it's like the same sort of lawsuits keep circulating. There are always the lawsuits from people who are like, I think that MJ has several other lawsuits. One was from a couple that like lent them a lot of money in cash, and they actually won their civil suit, and MJ and her husband were going to start making payments to start to get that money paid back off, and then they didn't. And so I think that they're still pending an outcome on that case. And then there's another couple who were just like going to be business partners with MJ and her husband. And they put in the civil case that the home that MJ and her husband are living in was originally supposed to be a flip house, and that they invested money and gave it to MJ and her husband because it was supposed to be a quick return on an investment, because they were going to buy the home and flip it quickly. But instead, like, buy the home, redo it, let Margaret live there just to film a season to get some hype around it and then sell it for a profit. But unfortunately, we've seen MJ and her husband move in there and they never left. And this couple invested money. This was an investment home for them, basically. And so they're dealing with that. So it's a lot of just average people, hardworking people that maybe have a little bit of extra money and they want to invest, or they want to make a small interest off of it, and somehow, some way, they run into these people. I want to almost use the word vultures. That it's hard to get your money back from somebody. It's hard. It's not easy. It takes money to get your money back from somebody. So always remember that. It's not I don't know. It's not good, guys. That's not a good sign. Like, sometimes, yeah, shit happens. Like, I've been sued before. I got sued over a university because I quit in the middle of the semester, and it just was like, I don't want to know, like, they weren't working, like, the university didn't want to work with me, so I was just like, whatever. And then 10 years later I was in court over it. So things do happen. I get it. But when you continually have the same type of situation with average people, like, these aren't banks going after MJ and her husband. These aren't corporations. These aren't, you defaulted on a loan. This is average people that were just trying to make an investment, that had saved some money. That's it. They're just average folks. So it makes it even harder on them because there's just there's no barrier of protection. Like, they signed a paper, okay, but they don't have, if they don't have it, they don't have it. They're not even paying their accountant. Like, that's crazy. And so we just keep seeing this happen over and over and over. And it's like, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't even know what to say about it, except for the fact that we continually see it with several of these New Jersey families or businesses. I don't even know what you call that shit anymore, but fake, maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying, guys, it's not a great look. It's not like a great look for Bravo. I think it leaves viewers kind of like, what's going on? And then you see in the blogger world that bloggers don't even want to post it because they don't even want to deal, like, so it just becomes a rough situation. I know that also, seeing a lot of comments from people saying that they're not getting a lot out of Rachel the last couple of episodes. Also, people seem very not happy to see Jackie on the cash trip at all. I really think that Jackie, I'm not sure what she's trying to do here. It's coming off a little bit mean girlish, I would say. I'm not sure if maybe that's an accurate perception, but that's what it feels like. Like, she's just teamed up with Margaret and Melissa. She doesn't even seem like a free thinker anymore. Like, she's just rolling with whatever they're saying. Even in the after show, like, she didn't even make sense. She said something about basically, oh, well, Margaret confided in her best friend of childhood all of her, secrets and things that had happened in her life. And she retells it to Jennifer, and she's like, Jackie says that Jennifer is probably spilling all of her secrets to Laura, and then Laura's gonna let all that out about Jennifer. I'm like, are you and Margaret trying to set something up here? Because that doesn't make any sense. Why would Jennifer tell that woman anything? She doesn't know that woman from Adam. Just because that woman is telling her stuff about Margaret doesn't mean Jennifer is gonna spill the beans about her own life and everything that's going on. I don't even know who was doing the after show with Jackie that said that. But they definitely gave her a side eye. Even the confessionals just don't even feel, I don't know. We don't get a lot of Dolores in confessional. I love her green shirt. Her hair looks amazing, but I still feel like there's something off with her since coming on with Polly. I can't help it. It's just my feeling. I don't, not necessarily bad, just different. And I don't know if I like it all the way. I'm just not sure. And then seeing a little bit of Rachel, people online really going hard at her about her house and not having any like landscaping. Like, the home is it is a beautiful home, I don't know if it was freshly built, maybe in the last couple of years, I'm not sure, but not a lot of landscaping. So people were really giving her a hard time about that and posting and saying like, this is ridiculous. You can call a landscaping company and have all of that done, you know, within a couple of days. So we'll probably see that happen, I'm sure. And then a lot of people talking about Danielle Cabral and her bougie kids line that was featured at Envy, Melissa Gorga's Envy in the last episode. So she has an online store. There's a lot of noise around that online store. As in, like, they did have issues. They put it on the website because they had to do a new website. I can't think of the exact details. I think that you guys probably know what I'm about to say if you looked at some of her items, especially like the mother and daughter matching outfits seem like I've seen them before, maybe sort of somewhere else. And so I think that there were some photos like that on there that maybe were items somewhere else. And she was using them on her webpage. So I'm not sure exactly all of the rules of like copyrights and all of that stuff. But yeah, there were issues around her clothing business. There were issues around the copyrights. There were issues about the mommy daughter outfits. So I'm interested to see at the reunion if they ask Danielle a lot of questions about her business because we truly don't know a lot about it. I thought it was a fairly new business, but then I was hearing that she's had it for like 7 years. So I was a little bit confused about that, which brings me back to Rachel, which confuses me about Rachel's tagline. I'm too busy running my business to care about yours. But I was excited to hear what business she's running, but I don't see a business. Does anyone else? Am I wrong with that? I know like her and her husband have a business, right? They have like a couple different, they have their hands in a couple different things, to different businesses, but I don't remember her saying anything about her own sort of business. So that was a little weird to me for sure. We had Melissa on Watch What Happens Live last night. If you didn't watch it, you should go watch it and come back and comment your interpretation of it. She sat second chair. And I tell you guys all the time, if you are a listener, then you know that status makes a difference in Bravo world. Like your chair, it's status. Wherever you sit, per the reunion, per Watch What Happens Live, per Andy Cohen baby shower, I don't care. If it's Andy Cohen related, Bravo related, your status is your seat selection. And the further away from Zaddy you are, Daddy Cohen, the less liked, interesting, drama filled, whatever you want to call it, that's what you are. So just saying. That's how it goes. I'm going to tell you guys a couple of other things, but I think I'm going to do another video on it. Let me see here. Dolores Catania did go on and talk to Andy Cohen. She was on Watch What Happens Live, I think the week before, and he asked her about Ozempic, and she did say that she was taking it. She talked about her plastic surgery. I saw a clip of her. I'm not sure if it was on Wendy Williams. And she said that she had her face done. She had a separate plastic surgeon for her body that she actually drove to Virginia for. And like she had basically skin tightening, BBL, hair, all the whole work. She had the whole thing done. She looks amazing. I think she's beautiful. I hope that this is Dolores' happy ever after. I think Dolores has done what no one else has been able to do in New Jersey, and she has somehow been able to remain Switzerland, mediate between these women. She's sort of taken on this Cynthia role. You know, Cynthia was sort of like the peacemaker, and whatever. It sort of feels the same way in New Jersey. Like Dolores is like Cynthia, right? Cynthia was freaking gorgeous, killing it. And then she met Mike Hill and they got married. That was her last season on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Sadly, they ended up divorced, but you know, COVID hit. I think a lot of people got divorced because of COVID. And so I think a lot like Dolores, I'm thinking that we'll probably have a wedding next season between her and Paulie, and then she will ride off into the sunset and we won't hear much for her because she doesn't want to fight on TV. She has her money now. She's done a great job of staying balanced. She's gotten advertisement. I think that Frank is winning. Her kids are winning. She's winning. Why ruin a bad thing? Like, there is a time to walk away. You don't always have to wait for the shitty ass contract that you're going to get instead of a firing. Just walk away. Walk away. Sorry. Okay. And a lot of people also talking about they're impressed with Polly's house, that Bravo did not give it a very good full around picture. Whenever the ladies, the first scene, I guess, whenever we first met Polly and his family, we didn't get a real good view of what his home is actually like. And so when the ladies go there for the lunch, they're very impressed. It's very beautiful. It's 3 stories. It's very, I have money. It is. So congratulations, Dolores. He's hitting every one of the check marks. They were also on the Namaste podcast. I didn't get a chance to listen to it fully because I had a rough couple of weeks. I'm sure that you guys know, and I just haven't been online like I normally am, and I'm behind on some things, and that's something unfortunately I'm behind on. But I did hear clips of it, and it was they seem very endearing, a lot more comfortable around each other. And he told a cute story about them going on their first date, and she had like spray tanned and hair and nails and glam, and he said he like pulled up and her neighbor was outside taking her picture in the yard. So it was very cute. It was very endearing, right? So hopefully this is her happy ever after place. I think that's it for right now. Jen Fessler, people are like, I'm like, zip it. Like, once she went on Watch What Happens Live, she pretty much sealed her fate when she went on Watch What Happens Live, because every single question that Andy asked her, she answered in loyalty to Margaret. And she would say, my loyalty is to Margaret. Any situation, if it was Jen versus Margaret, Teresa versus Margaret, Prince Charles versus Margaret, it didn't matter. In Jen Fessler's book, Margaret was going to be right. She was going to say that Margaret was right. No, regardless, she wasn't even going to evaluate the situation, because Margaret is always right and Margaret is her friend. And these people do not make good housewives. You don't have an opinion. Housewives is about having an opinion, right? You can't have an opinion if you're just blindly giving loyalty to someone, right? I understand that that's your friend. She probably helped you get on the show, but at some point she probably had to know as well, like, if you're not interesting and your answers and your conversation is all in support of one person and you can't see any other perspectives, you're not going to make a great housewife. Like, when she said something at the table, I think, like, let's not talk about Laura anymore. I was like, hey, yo, Jen, zip it over there, honey. Miss Fessler, sit down. Ain't nobody talking to you. Girl. You're lucky they fucking probably brought all of you guys. How many friends do they have? Fessler and Jackie? That's a lot. Usually they don't take their friends of on a cash trip. And frankly, I would like to see them cut out some of those. Why don't you throw Teresa, Jennifer, Margaret, Danielle, and Rachel, and let's see what those, I mean, not always, obviously not always, we do need other housewives, but in situations like this, when they're on a cash trip, like, the more confined and smaller group, I feel like the more intimate and the more details and things that we get from them, because we're like actually really seeing them operate. They're like going to bed on vacation, waking up. Like, we're just getting a different perspective. That's why a lot of people enjoy the cash trip episodes, because we're really getting a more authentic side. They're not worried about their husbands or their kids. We're just getting that housewife, her opinion, and the way she moves. So, yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. More to come. I was going to try to show you guys, but I feel like by the time I get on here and go over here, you guys don't even really want to see the actual filing through the courts. Do you? Don't make me get my account suspended. If you do, find me on Instagram and DM me or comment, and I'll forward it over to you. if you want. Or you can go on to their clerk of court page and find it yourself. And I think it's Bergen County, New Jersey, and it's relatively easy to find. Um, Whoa, we have something going on. Comments from Lee Jensen. This was posted like 2 minutes ago from all RHONJ facts. This is Lee Jensen. Wow, I guess those 3 interviews really paid off. They dedicated the whole season to me. This clip is so riddled with nonsense from people who have no clue what they're even talking about. Taking the word of a wicked, morally corrupt spin doctor fraud is a mistake, number 1. Trust me, she'll screw them over the minute it suits her if she hasn't already. I just hope they didn't lend her money. This is all coming from a new friend that crawled out of Ziggy's woodwork and Margaret's ass, and someone who never even met me, and the other one, a boring, bitter, demoted housewife whose name people have already forgotten. Go ahead. Follow your good friend blindly right off that clip. I stand by every word that has come out of my mouth, as accurate as it has been, exactly as told to me by Margaret. The truth doesn't ruin people. It holds them accountable. Yes, it is true that this vicious, backstabbing wrench should have thought of the people it would hurt when she was repeating more than one friend's dirty laundry. As Rachel Fuda said this season, quote, I don't see a problem with repeating what was said. The actual problem is that they said it in the first place. They said it in the first place. Why not hold the people who started the rumor accountable? Also, they should get their facts straight and stop believing the one-sided, baseless lies that are being fed. It's possible because anything is possible, but not actually probable that any right-thinking individual would believe this was all over one missed Christmas dinner. It takes a lot more than a holiday dinner to turn me. FYI, we stopped speaking before Christmas. Not being there for the holiday was just a hurtful, unfortunate result of our argument. To be perfectly clear, I was not the one who ended our friendship. I gave her months to make it right, and she chose not to. P.S. My husband wouldn't touch that thing with a 10-foot pole. Maybe your husband would, comma, Jen Fessler. Oh, my. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me look at these comments real quick, though, for you and see if there's anything interesting. This is Lindsay Lulu 87. Why didn't Lee Jensen get the friend role instead of Fessler? Seems if they're going to talk so much about Laura, she should be there to defend herself. Margaret needs minions to gaslight everyone, believing her lies. Question. Why didn't Jen and Margaret comfort her for the truth a few weeks ago when they ate this at the same restaurant? Gorga even had food to back him up. I want to know that too. Bravo, stay adding a friend that will be drama. Laura needs to be a surprise guest at the reunion. I said that too. And I'm going to add that right now. Melissa Gorga says she wants to sleep the entire day before the reunion so she doesn't have to see anything that's online. I was like, that sounds a little depressing. That doesn't sound like Melissa. Melissa's like the good time gal. She's usually whatever. Okay, so we'll leave you guys with that. It looks like Lee Jensen speaking up after last night's episode, and she is on Instagram commenting. You can find those comments on allabouthetruth.com. Oh my god, this picture. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Hold on, I was gonna wrap this video up, but I'll just do it. And here it is. There's a picture of Margaret. I'm not even gonna share it. You guys saw it on Instagram. She has a huge track in the back of her hair, and her hair is literally standing like up, and it's just bad. Why did nobody fix that? How did the camera get a clip of that. She's walking around fully dressed as if she's ready to go somewhere. And nobody fixed her hair for her. Nobody. Like, would you let your friend walk around with a big hair tract back here? It makes it look like her hair is like to the scalp. Like she teased her hair and didn't like comb it over, basically. And if I had a friend, if I saw anyone walking around like that, I would tell them. Unless if I truly effing hated them, then I might not tell them. And that would be only be what makes sense to me about this gal, because why didn't anyone tell her that her hair, she had a huge track showing? Because nobody likes her. Is that possible? I'm just saying, guys. Okay, anyways, I'm wrapping this up. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. I know that I haven't gotten a lot of content out to you guys, and I'm sorry about that, but I am going to be working on it. It's business back as usual. Next week, I'm super excited though, because I'm going to be in New York City joining City Winery. They're hosting David and Kim D from Behind the Velvet Rope. So me and a couple of girlfriends are going to be coming. Krista from Reality T is going to be there. Monica, different people that are going to be, I think they're going to fill the place probably. So I'll definitely be covering a lot of that too as well, and letting you guys know what goes on there and what tea we find out, because I'm sure that there's going to be some stuff going on. So I think that they're sold out though. But if you're going to be there, make sure you guys comment. Don't be mad that I haven't put any content out. You guys know I've been like going through it the last couple of weeks, but I'm better. I'm just, getting back into the groove. So